Hey folks, Vortex here and welcome to my review of the Soncie Meory SW500H. So these are a hybrid IEM, so obviously we'll check the drivers and driver count in a bit. Yeah, so SW500H, about $73, so it's about, give or take, £55, £56. So I have no idea what these are like, as you can see, still sealed. So yeah, as usual, full disclaimers, I'd like to thank Shenzhen Audio Store for sending these out to me, so thank you very much. I was not paid to this video, nor thoughts, opinions are my own. And as a slight spoiler, I have the DAC they've released at the same time as this. So that'd be a future video, but I'll just do it separate. Anyway, yeah, let's just see what's inside there. So let's have a close look. So hybrid, like I said. Contents. So this should be quite a bit. Type says audio adapter, so I'll have to look at that. There's the branding, nothing really there. Colours, driver setup. Hopefully the BAs are further like in the shell, but obviously we will see some information there. Some specs there, so 16 ohm is it? We'll have a good look in a bit. 126 decibel sensitivity. Normally hybrids of this kind of type aren't really that funky to power. There's some information about the setup, so you can pause if you want to. Colour, I have no idea what this colour is. Okay, so I've got the silver one. You can see I haven't opened these before. Last one I tried from Soncie Meory or Sonic Memory was I think it was a single DD. So this seems a bit tricky, so I'll edit me opening it. And back with the power editing. So it wasn't too tricky to get out. You just have to use something, a sharp blade or something similar. Okay. Okay, so that's really in there. So edit number 2. Back again. So you get some sort of card. Let's have a look. Okay, so not really useful to anybody from the West. So these look pretty cool. Accessories. And then it did show there's quite a few items. Again, this is a bit more expensive than other models. So it looks quite large, this section. You can see DD there. You can see some BAs. Hard to see, but they're just there. It's a 2-pin short nozzle. Wood. It looks like rust initially, but that's actually wood. That's actually interesting. More paperwork, so there's quite a lot of bit to this card. I have no idea what that means, but it is what it is. So okay, right angle connector, L and R on the end. Looks pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff. This one takes forever. So quite a few bits there. So I guess I'll check them in a bit. Obviously comes with a lot of stuff. It's a Type-C adapter, tips, and yeah, more tips. So yeah, at least you're getting plenty of stuff for the money. So I have no idea what these are like. I'll double check everything what's in here, and yeah, I'll see you in the future. So welcome to my review section of the Soncie Meory SW500H. So the tips that it came with, basically 2 sizes. Left, see the wider bore, and the one on the right is a bit more narrow. Let's put the best shot. Yeah, so that's the kind of tips it comes with. Also, in this bag is a closer look. So it's good to. So some of these are useful. And one thing I had an issue with. So obviously brush, basically sim tool, which obviously they use for moving these two. Did they include that? So for spares, pretty cool. Now, and the Type-C. So this for me did absolutely nothing. So I plugged in the computer, didn't recognise it, and into my phone, didn't recognise it at all. So maybe it had more luck than me, or it's just some sort of pass through. But for me, it made no difference. Let's get out of the way. Now, cable. So it's actually this is the one with the mic. So I think this is $4 or $5 more. So you can see, obviously, right-angled 4-pole, and there's the connector. One button, mic on the back, and that is on the right one, I think. Yeah. So microphone's typically on the right. That's the cable. To stretch it out a bit. I do prefer right-angle connector. The cable's actually pretty fine, really. I had no issues with it. And yeah, so bring it up now. Y split. AG OFC cable. And that's it. So do have a chin slider. So 3.5. There's a chin slider there. And that's it. So connectors, L and R, seems fine for me. Cable was okay. Now, comfort and fit on these. Now, because these are that kind of shallow, well, kind of chunky. There's kind of a chunk in the middle. I had actually no issues, but these are not that supportive. If you can do running or jogging, you know, there's no support really. So the fitting, if you're in a seated position, they're okay. But apart from that, yeah, not that supportive. But comfort and fit, no driver flex or anything like that. Again, I had no issues. Build quality seems okay. I don't see anything that excels, and it's got obviously wooden nozzles, which is pretty difficult, pretty different. Yeah, so pound sensitivity, no real issues at all, no problems. Timbre on this set, it sounds a bit off again because it's a hybrid. I think is it 4BA, one dynamic drive per side. So you can't beat single DD again. I've said this a few times. So it does sound a bit off. It does sound a bit unnatural. Details, resolution on this set, I think it's okay, but I'll get to it in a sec, but I think it could have been better for its kind of price point really. Imaging on this set seems okay, and stage seems okay, like it doesn't really do anything special. I think this might have been one of their first hybrids, but the tuning's a bit kind of not what I expected. So I'll put the graph on there so you can have a look. Now, channel matching is a little bit off, but you don't really notice it. So bass, it's a bit too lean on the mid-range. I would say it's a bit too lean in the bass really, because it's a slight sub-bass bump, but it's a bit too lean in the mid-bass. So for electronic music, it doesn't really suit that well, because you got that big kind of presence region. There's that little bit of a boost. But yet for electronic, it doesn't have that slam that I'm after really. I'm not a bass head, but I do like a little bit of, obviously I like a bit of low end in the music. There's a bit of a mismatch, but I didn't really notice that. Again, I was graph after I finished. And yeah, slight boost towards the sub bass, but these aren't a bass earphone at all. They sound a bit thin, which leads me on to the mid range. So yeah, lower mid range, a bit too thin really. Male vocals sound a bit thin in my opinion. Now what sounds odd is a small dip. So some female vocals sound pretty good and some don't. I think that dip doesn't really help with it really. I don't know why there is that there. Maybe it's how it's transitioned the BAs. I don't know how they've done it. But yeah, mid-range is a bit thin. It doesn't sound that natural. It could have been better in my opinion, considering you got 5 drivers per side. And yeah, quite uneventful really. Not that impressed with the mid-range. So treble, again, it's got that boost around 2.5 up to 3k. So some vocals sound pretty good. Some can sound slightly shouty is one way of pulling it. And then the treble falls off quite a bit. And then you got the 8k peak. I didn't really find anything. I think it's from the coupler. I didn't see anything aggressive there, and then obviously you can see it gradually rolls off. It doesn't roll off a cliff like some models do, so it does have it has enough extension. But yeah, kind of I really wasn't impressed with it. It sounded a little bit bright and thin, in my opinion. Well, for one off, before I graphed it, really, yeah, quite uneventful set. Bit thin sounding. Probably could do with a bit of EQ, really, to be thrown at it. Yeah, average, my opinion. But yeah, you could do the little bit smoother 3K-ish bit, and then a bit more, you know, towards the 5K, 6K, just a little bit more of an elevation there to kind of balance it out. And that's it. I don't know what to say, really. I spent a bit of time with it. I tried a few different genres. Acoustic was a little bit better, but then again, it still sounds a bit thin. Electronic music, it didn't really suit it. I think it didn't have enough low end. I'd say a bit for heavy metal and rock. You need a bit more kick in the low end, I'd say, to bring it alive. And yeah, that's all I can say, really. So, conclusion of the Soncie Meory, which is a funky name, the SW500H, is average at best, from my opinion, for what I listen to. Again, it needs more of a mid-bass punch and sub-bass, a bit more sub-bass, but more of a mid-bass punch. And the treble sounds a little bit odd, really, and that kind of dip in the upper mid-range. I think it could do with a bit more work. It's not a bad set, but it's not a great set either, and because there's so much competition these days, you know, especially up to the $100 mark. You really know what you need. You really need to know what you're doing, really. So, yeah, the SW500H. Again, the inner part of the shell is not that big, really, where all the drivers are, which is all in this bit. I do think it probably could have done with a bit more R&D, in my opinion, but I think that's it. I don't know if I was too harsh, but I just think this could have been better, really, a bit better tuned. Anyway, if you think I missed anything about these, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you in the next video.